Once upon a time, the internet was captivated by the seemingly picture-perfect romance between rapper and YouTuber Daryl Dwayne Granberry Jr., better known as DDG, and actress-singer Halle Bailey, one half of the Grammy-nominated duo Chloe x Halle and star of Disney's live-action The Little Mermaid. What started as a quiet connection blossomed into a high-profile love story, full of red carpet appearances, joint vacations, collaborative content, and public adoration. Their journey together seemed to embody the hopes of many fans who had watched them grow from young stars into influential figures, now navigating life and love in the spotlight. However, behind the curated images and romantic posts, tension simmered, ultimately erupting into a public and emotional legal battle that stunned their fan base and ignited a complex conversation about fame, parenting, and domestic issues. DDG and Halle Bailey began dating in early 2022. At first, their relationship was kept mostly private, with hints of their connection surfacing through cryptic social media posts and subtle shoutouts. But by mid-2022, they had gone public, confirming their relationship with photos and videos that delighted fans. DDG, known for his transition from YouTube stardom to the music world, and Halle, celebrated for her angelic voice and breakthrough acting career, made an unlikely yet magnetic pair. Their energies balanced each other. DDG brought charisma and spontaneity, while Halle exuded grace and calm. Together, they shared glimpses of a happy, affectionate life. Whether they were traveling, attending fashion shows, or supporting each other's professional milestones, their chemistry appeared undeniable. Their bond deepened when, in December 2023, they welcomed their first child, a baby boy named Halo. Though the couple initially kept the pregnancy under wraps, the birth of their son marked a significant turning point. Halle later confirmed their son's birth in early 2024 through a heartfelt post, saying, "Even though we're a few days into the new year, the greatest thing that 2023 could have done for me was bring me my son." This announcement was met with widespread celebration, as fans praised the couple for creating what they called a royal R&B family. It appeared that the couple had entered a new, more mature chapter in their relationship, now centered around parenthood and the shared joy of raising a child. However, by October 2024, rumors of trouble began circulating. Fans noticed fewer joint appearances and a distinct lack of interaction on social media. Then came the formal announcement that DDG and Halle Bailey had separated. DDG posted a tweet stating, "Halle and I are no longer together. We will continue to co-parent Halo, and I ask for privacy during this time." Despite the announcement being diplomatic, it sent shockwaves across social media. Many hoped the split was temporary, while others speculated about what had gone wrong. At that point, there were no public allegations, just a sense of sadness that a seemingly harmonious couple had decided to part ways. Unfortunately, what followed painted a much darker picture. In May 2025, Halle Bailey filed for a temporary restraining order against DDG, citing multiple instances of physical and emotional abuse. The details, which quickly surfaced in court documents and media coverage, were deeply troubling. Bailey alleged that DDG had subjected her to verbal threats, intimidation, and violence. One particularly disturbing claim involved an incident where he allegedly pushed her into a bathtub while she was holding their son. Another claimed he had chipped her tooth during a confrontation, and there were allegations of him throwing items at her, destroying her property, and using his influence to incite online harassment against her. The restraining order request included photographic evidence of bruises and broken items, as well as messages Bailey said were examples of DDG's threatening behavior. She also claimed that he would frequently enter her home without permission and that he once used Halo's presence as a means to manipulate her, locking himself in her house to avoid leaving when asked. The Los Angeles court granted Bailey a temporary restraining order, which required DDG to stay at least 100 yards away from her and their son. She was granted full physical and legal custody of Halo, at least until the court could hold a formal hearing. The public response was immediate and polarized. Some fans expressed heartbreak and support for Halle, applauding her bravery for coming forward. Others, however, were skeptical of the claims, especially after DDG publicly denied all accusations. The rapper took to social media, stating that he had never abused Halle and that he was being unfairly kept away from his son. He expressed frustration over the court's temporary custody decision and claimed that he had been actively trying to be present in Halo's life. "Every single day or every other day, I'm trying to see him. I want to see my son. I want to hold my son," DDG said during a live stream. In what many saw as a move of retaliation or desperation, DDG released a diss track titled "Don't Take My Son." The lyrics reflected his pain and indignation, with lines like, "Don't take my son because he's all I got." The track went viral, further inflaming public opinion. Critics accused him of exploiting a serious situation for clout, while supporters argued it was his only outlet to express his emotions amidst a painful custody battle. Around the same time, Bailey's team reportedly asked that he refrain from using their son in music or social media content, fearing it would further compromise the child's privacy and safety. As tensions rose, DDG filed his own legal motions. In early June 2025, he submitted a request for a restraining order against Halle Bailey, claiming that she had threatened to harm herself and that he feared for her mental health, especially as the custodial parent. He alleged that during one phone call, she made comments suggesting suicidal ideation and that she had previously accused him of making her feel unsafe during her pregnancy. In addition to the restraining order, DDG asked the court to prevent Bailey from taking Halle on an international trip to Italy, citing concerns that she might not return. However, the court denied both of DDG's requests. The judge found insufficient evidence to grant a restraining order against Bailey and rejected the plea to stop her from traveling with their son. The court reaffirmed the temporary custody arrangement, leaving DDG with limited visitation rights and a growing sense of helplessness. Legal analysts pointed out that the court's decisions reflected a precautionary approach, especially in light of the domestic violence allegations and Halle's young age. The media frenzy surrounding the case only intensified. Major outlets like People, Page 6, and Pitchfork covered every new development, while social media users dissected every court document, live stream, and lyric. Supporters of Halle Bailey launched campaigns emphasizing the importance of believing survivors, especially Black women who come forward about abuse. Meanwhile, DDG's fanbase doubled down on their belief that he was being unfairly villainized in a messy breakup-turned-custody war. The story quickly became less about two celebrities and more about broader themes: parental rights, intimate partner violence, and the consequences of airing private disputes in public. Despite the chaos, both DDG and Halle Bailey maintained that their son's well-being was their top priority. Friends of the couple have noted that despite their animosity, they both love Halle deeply and are devastated by the situation. In interviews and public posts, Bailey has spoken about the emotional toll the legal battle has taken, emphasizing the need to protect her child above all else. DDG, too, has reiterated that he wants to be an active father, not a source of disruption. As of mid-2025, the legal battle is ongoing. A formal hearing is expected later in the year to determine long-term custody and whether the restraining order against DDG will be made permanent. Both parties are expected to present evidence and witness testimony. In the meantime, their son remains in Halle's custody, and DDG's visits, if permitted, are likely supervised. What began as a love story full of hope and unity has turned into a complex and painful legal saga, unfolding in front of millions. For many fans who once looked up to DDG and Halle Bailey as a model couple, the revelations have been difficult to process. Their journey serves as a reminder that public image often hides private struggles, and that even the most admired relationships can contain shadows that few ever see. In the end, the most important outcome of this story may not be who wins in court, but how two people, once in love, can learn to navigate the aftermath of their breakup in a way that protects their child and honors their shared humanity. For DDG and Halle Bailey, the road ahead is uncertain. But for their son Halle, who remains the central figure in this legal and emotional storm, the hope is for peace, stability, and a future where he can thrive beyond the headlines.